All right, y'all. We finna get in what y'all been waiting on. Mars and motherfucking Scorpio. I don't know why everybody always be waiting on Scorpio. I don't. Don't wait. Don't hold your breath. You might die. They are the sign of death. Don't hold your breath. Okay. But Mars and Scorpio, like I said, once again, these archetypes could compare to the sun sign or relate to you in your personal life, in your personal sun sign being a Scorpio. So here we go. Much like Aries, Scorpio have a high sex drive. Very high. Very, 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 very. I'm talking about busting nuts and keep going. We busting nuts and we keep going. For real. You ain't never had a nigga like that. We busting nuts and we keep going. And I'm speaking for Mars and Scorpio. I don't know about all Scorpio signs, men, because every man is different. And I've heard some horror stories from women who had actually dealt with Scorpio men in the bedroom. So, sex can be tied to their emotional well-being as well as their mental. And without it, it's like an empty void. It's like, you don't want a Scorpio who don't be having sex. I know women be like, why should I fuck with this nigga? Because he be fucking with all these hoes. But unfortunately, okay, Scorpio rules death, but they also rule, what's the word I'm looking for? I just say consumption. When somebody drains the life, when some venom, they also, like, you would consider Scorpio the vampires of the zodiac, because they literally suck the fucking energy out of you. And it's not because they do this intentionally. It's a subconscious thing. They need others' energies to survive. It's like a parasite. It's like something being on you and they're living off of you. So a lot of times when you see women or men that's been dealt with Scorpios and they get out of relationships with these people, they look horrible, or they look like they've been through fucking World War fuck 3, 5. They look tired, they look done, and they look through, and their life is changed completely forever, because Scorpio does rule transformations. So believe me, they're gonna fucking transform you when you're in a situationship, a relationship. It don't fucking matter. Don't come to me about it. It is what it is. I'm just telling y'all some shit I know. So they can be heavy masturbators, because they can't actually refrain from sex for a long time. Even though they're very hypersexual, they can very much so control. They also rule control. They control themselves, so they can go without sex. Don't think that just because they be fucking or they just, sexual. No, they not hoes by far. Can be hoes, but they're not hoes. It's a difference. They can go out here and be hoes and be the best ones. Best. But they don't usually. And a lot of that comes with, like I say, evolving, just growing up and knowing themselves. Explored their body parts as an early child, that's for sure. They have intense sex, angry sex. That can be a bad habit though, because angry sex isn't always good, because you never really get down to the bottom of what's going on in the relationship, because you're solving it with the sex. So not always good, and it can get abusive. Pluto does rule Scorpio, and Pluto does have some abuse aspects to it. Scorpio Mars women with this placement can have love-hate relationships with men, and a lot of it is because of their strong force and will that they will push on you. And men are already masculine and they already wield their own will, but coming with the energy like that, like a Mars and Scorpio, it's like, it's literally that get down or motherfucking lay down. And if you lay down, you stay down. Cause it's not no deal breakers with them. They don't like tolerate that type of shit. They have toxic sex. Very, very, very good toxic sex. Very, very good toxic sex. But good sex. So it can be a bit addicting. Orgasms. They like those, of course. They rule orgasms. They rule butt play because Scorpio does rules the anus in the zodiac. It rules the bowels. It rules fecal matter. It rules the genitalia area. It rules that waist, whatever you can think of. Scorpio, it rules other things too, but that's another topic for another day too. I meant to mention that because it's a lot. Scorpio, a lot. The energy itself. Scorpio also rules, like I say, orgasms. They rule orgasms. I'm gonna read this. I had to write a lot of shit. Okay, so Scorpio and Taurus are sister signs, and Scorpio is what you would describe as the release, the ejaculation, where Taurus would be the opposite, because like I said, it's sister signs, opposite signs. Taurus is all about the foreplay, the act that leads up to the orgasm, which is the little death. If you ever heard of orgasm in French, it means little death. So think about it. When you have sex, you literally go through a regenerative phase in like a matter of, once you orgasm, a matter of 3 minutes, it's like you're regenerated, you're renewed. So like when you die and come back to life. So Scorpio is the house of death. And when you orgasm, like I say, it's like you go through a little death, figuratively speaking, to arise rejuvenated. Very big on coming over and over and over. Like I said, they're very, very hypersexual people. These could have been the girls that like was fucking hard in high school. Them bitches that like she'll go do him and then pop off in the room with old boy because the sexual energy is too much at the time of her puberty stage. It's just too much, and you don't usually know how to control it, and then they get labeled as this and that and that and this, and a lot of time they're just dealing with these energies. I feel like that's too high strung for them at that age. Craze intensity, freaky, very kinky. They like to get choked and they like to choke. But that can go, like I say, that can go, yeah, kind of AWOL. It just depends. But like most of us millennials that graduated my year, and I think before, because I get so tired of them saying all these other motherfuckers is millennials, because they not. After 1990, I think after 1995, no, 94 and 95, you are not a fucking millennial. Stop. But the millennials are the Pluto and Scorpio. We are part of the Pluto and Scorpio generation because it actually starts in like shit. Pluto and Scorpio start in like 1985. So yeah, those people are not millennials either, but they're part of that Scorpio Pluto generation. Pluto Scorpio generation probably just like rough shit anyway. So I wanted to use this as a feed in into Mars and Scorpio. They probably like I say, rough shit in general on a sexual tip. But it depends, like I said, on how the Pluto is aspecting your chart. And Pluto Pluto is not a planet to just like play with or to look at sideways or think that it's some bullshit to just throw off to the wayside. No, Pluto has a lot to do with your chart personally and on a generational perspective that you deal with the whole, because it is a generational planet and it takes shit. Pluto takes almost, I don't want to be wrong, I think 18 years. 18 years to actually transverse into another sign, I think. But it takes a long fucking time. A long time. And that's why it's called a generational planet, because it takes so long to make its full cycle around the sun and its full cycle through a whole fucking sign. Like, it takes years for Pluto to get through a sign. Mars and Pluto. Mars and Scorpio. Now, this is not to say it's a bad thing, but it is what it is. And I'm here to tell y'all the truth, because I'm telling the stuff that people don't like to talk about. Okay, and we gonna talk about this shit. Scorpio, rape fantasies. Mars and Scorpio, rape fantasies. They usually have rape fantasies. Or if you have high, heavy 8th house placements, you could possibly have rape fantasies. It's weird, it's crazy, but it's not something that that they necessarily, especially the women, that they want a man to actually come off the street and rape them. It's more of a, like, it's twisted, but a sick reenactment of, like, being taken control over. That's what it's about. So they can have rape fantasies. Yes, Scorpio, like I say, Scorpio deals with rape, but Aries is also rape. Aries is the sign of rape. Yeah, like, this astrology shit get deep. But Scorpio deals with rape fantasies, and Aries rules rape. Like, hence they are like brothers of the zodiac, because they're ruled by the same planet, Mars. Only difference is Scorpio is a little bit more amplified on a burning, like that. And like, you ever got a fire that's burning, but it's still burning up under the ashes? It's hot as shit, but you think it's died out. That's Scorpio. Where Aries is the full-blown fucking flame. But they're brothers of the zodiac. So depending on how things are placed in your chart, certain things can indicate whether you've been raped, or have rape fantasies. So, like, a lot of Aries women in this lifetime, it takes a long time for them to be happy, but it takes a long time for them to be happy, especially Aries Venus women too. I'm an Aries Venus, and it takes a long time because they don't, like I said, you don't know how to direct that masculine fucking energy. And a lot of times it can be toyed with, it can be played with, and it is looked at as like hoish or too freedom loving or whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. I do what I want to do. So, like, some people might, just label you certain ways. So it is what it is. Be yourself. I don't care. But yeah, not saying that that's what they want, to be raped. Once again, it's a subconscious thing. Like I say, only few would really understand what I mean. It's like your subconscious is all the yucky stuff, or you would say all the stuff that you think, like I say, you don't remember, the stuff you carry from a past life. You think you don't remember that shit, but you remember that shit. It's just dormant. The shit you can't run away from, basically. The stuff that's in your mind on your latest nights. That's subconscious, that you don't think about, but it creeps up. Your subconscious is who you really are also. So it's not to say it's bad, because most people are so afraid, like I say, to admit some of the things that they think about, that they would never act on in real life, but they think about it. You have some who do, like I say, act on what they do, but not many. But many Scorpio Mars might actually want to act out their rape fantasies with their partner, or, like I say, it ain't like that, like what people might assume. Okay, this video is 15, so I'm gonna come out and come right back in.